Good morning, honorable members. It's 8:30. We now start our meeting of the Programming Committee. Agenda and documentation has all been
Recording in
circulated
progress.
to members, and it's also flighted on the screen in order for us to remind ourselves if we don't have documents closer to us. Secretary, can we please take apologies, if any?
Good morning, Madam Speaker and honorable members. We received 2 apologies, Deputy Speaker and House Chairperson Horn.
Thank you. Are there any apologies that members would like to raise?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I'm Kalibi.
Yes, Honorable Kalibi.
The Chief Whip of the EFF might join us late, but she has an appointment with the doctor at 8:30. Secondly, Speaker, there's an issue that I would like to raise in terms of the agenda for your consideration.
Okay, let's finish with the apologies. Is there any other apology that would like to give from other members? Yes. Honorable Cameron.
Thank you so much, Speaker. As you know, I'm in the meeting, but given the fact that the weather conditions while I'm traveling, I hope that I don't get cut out, and I apologize for not being able to be in a stable place. But I would just ask that if there is any issue with my report on the program, that Mr. Kaiser could do that. We have discussed it last night, but I should be able to present the report. Thank you.
No, thank you very much. Any other apology? Order. Rias, can you please switch off? Rias, can you please switch off? Thank you. I'm sorry, they are trying to connect me on a big screen, but it's disturbing because it has just come out of the systems. Apologies about that, members. The apologies that have been proposed, or rather tabled, have been accepted. We now move on the consideration of the agenda. There is an issue, Honorable Kalipi, you wanted to add on the agenda?
No, it's not an issue that I want to add, Honorable Speaker. I wanted to get your attention in terms of the program, the agenda here. We have raised the issue of consideration of minutes to be item number 5. We have been raising this issue, Madam Speaker, because to me, this matter comes very late after we have done all the work that's supposed to be done. We have agreed with you at some point that you are going to consider for the consideration of minutes and matters arising to be pushed up in order for us to have a logic sense when we deal with the agenda of the programming committee. Thanks, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kalipi. Indeed, we're going to come back to that issue because I once again want to remind members how at the end of the day we came back to the structure of the agenda as it is. And unless members commit that we're not going to actually use the minutes arising to actually drag the program more than what it's supposed to be, we will then have to reconsider as this meeting again. But as it stands, we would continue with the meeting structure as it is, because it was actually agreed in the meeting, given how we have utilized, the meeting ourselves in dragging it beyond what it's supposed to be. So we'll come back to that issue in the next meeting so that we really come back to what the programming committee is supposed to be, because it's more about the program, not bringing other issues that are not related to the program, which we had agreed that we will need to find a space on how we deal with those matters so that this meeting is, strictly for us to deal with the program and issues that are in the committee section. Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Can we now move towards the adoption of the agenda as it stands?
Honorable Speaker?
Yes.
Please don't rule me out of order. I've had my hand raised. I don't think you can see it on your side.
Yes.
Do you have admin rights?
You can go ahead, Honorable Reddy. If
Thank you
it's
very-
about discussing the structure of the agenda, I've just said we will deal with it next
No,
week.
no. Yes,
But
yes,
if
I
you want
agree. No,
to make
I fully
a
I agree with
proposal
you.
on the additions to the agenda,
On the addition, Chairperson, I just wanted to add the issue of last minute changes to the program, like has happened this week, and how this can be avoided, and that we should take a decision that this should never happen again. So I don't want to discuss it here. And also, Chairperson, we have another meeting that starts at 9:30, so we need to be done by then. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Reddy. We'll come to that point that you're raising under the consideration of the parliamentary program. Thank you very much. Can I get the mover for the agenda?
I move,
Speaker.
Speaker.
I
Thank
second
you
Honorable
very much.
Reddy. I second Honorable
Thank
Reddy.
you very much, Honorable Dagmore, for the secondment. Honorable members, documents have been circulated as always are. So I would ask the presenters not to, reread the document, but lift the issues that you want to bring to the consideration of the minutes. So I'll now start with the committee section, and it will be followed by the bills office. Committee section, I'm not sure who's presenting. Is it Ms. Kanyaza?
Yes, it is, Ms. Speaker. Thank you so much. Good morning to you, to members, and to colleagues as well. I'll be quick, Speaker, with regards to our report. However, I just want to say that we have received some updates overnight, and I will speak to them as well in my report. If we go to slide number 2, we have 27 bills before committees, of which 17 of them are executive bills and 10 of them are private members' bills. And we also have 10 petitions before committees. Next slide is slide number 4. With regards to the Performing Animals Protection Amendment Bill before PC on agriculture, the committee will be receiving a briefing on the 22nd of July, 2025. Next slide, number 6. Slide number 6 speaks to the Division of Revenue Bill before the Standing Committee on Appropriation. We want to members to note that it has been finalized by the committee. Next slide is slide number 7. Slide number 7 is an appropriation bill before the Standing Committee on Appropriation. It was referred on the 11th of June, 2025. And the committee received various briefings from different entities like the Johannesburg and Mangaung metros on the 11th of June, the Department of Health on the 17th of June, and we'll be receiving briefing from the Department of Cooperative Governance on the 28th of June, and the Department of Transport on the 24th of June, and they will have public hearings on the 2nd of July, with an intention to consider and adopt its report on the 15th of July. Next slide is slide number 11. Slide number 11, we are noting that the Public Sector Pension and Related Payments Bill that was before Standing Committee on Appropriation was finalized by the committee. Slide number 15. Slide number 15, we are noting the additions done by the Portfolio Committee on Health with regards to the processing of the tobacco products and Electronic Delivery Systems Control Bill. They have added those dates highlighted in red for oral submission. In June, the addition is the 19th and the 25th of June. In July, they will have public submissions as from the 11th to the 25th of July 2025. The next slide is slide number 16, Speaker. Slide number 16 refers to the marriage bill before PC on Home Affairs, and they intend to have public hearings in the Free State from the 25th to the 27th of July. Next slide is slide number 17. Before the PC on Home Affairs is the Immigration Amendment Bill. The committee will have the clause-by-clause deliberations on the 15th of July, and on the same day, they intend to finalize that bill. Slide number 18 before the same committee is the Electoral Commission Bill. They have made an amendment with regards to that briefing. It will now take place on the 8th of July, 2025. Next slide is slide number 19. Before the same committee, the One-Stop Border Post Bill. The committee will take responses by the Department of Home Affairs on the submissions and public hearings on the 8th of July. The following week, on the 15th of July, they will have responses by the Parliamentary Legal Services on the submissions and to respond to the Department of Home Affairs presentation, which was done the previous week. The next slide is slide number 25. Slide number 25 is the Judicial Matters Amendment Bill before PC on Justice. We want the members to note that the advert has gone out on the 10th of June and the closing date is the 20th of July. Before Justice also is the new bill, the Remuneration of Public Office Bearers Amendment Bill, which was referred on the 12th of June 2025. The committee is yet to schedule that particular bill. Next slide is slide number 29. Slide number 29 is the National State Enterprises Bill before PC on planning, monitoring and evaluation. They've reconsidered their program, starting with stakeholder hearings on the 21st of May, NEDLEC. On the 23rd of May, the Socio-Economic Impact Unit in the Presidency. And the 2nd of July, the Financial and Fiscal Commission and SEI Unit report back. On the 9th of July, the National Treasury and the SEI Unit report back. And then on the 16th and 24th of July will be oral presentations from submissions received by that committee. The next slide is slide number 32. Slide number 32 is the South African National Water Resources Infrastructure Agency Society Limited Amendment Bill before the PC on water and sanitation. The advert for that on calling for submission has gone out from the 15th of June. The closing date is the 15th of July. The next slide is slide number 42. Slide number 42, now we're going to petitions before committees. And we want the committee to note that the PC on social development has finalized that petition. And the next slide is slide number 45. Slide number 45 is a petition before PC on minerals and petroleum resources. The committee oversight to Alexco, SOX, will be on the 6th to the 8th of June, and the adoption of the oversight report on the 24th of June, and then the consideration and adoption of the report on this particular petition will be on the 1st of July. So that means they intend to finalize it on that date. The last slide, Speaker, we are reporting a new petition before the PC on police, and the committee is yet to schedule. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Ms. Kanyaza. Ms. Mbata, on the bills report.
Good morning, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members. Honorable Speaker, I won't give the updates that were on slide 2, 3, and 4. I will just concur with the committee section reports. They've already reported on those slides, so I will be repeating the information. So I will move straight to slide number 5. On slide number 5, Honorable Speaker, we are reporting on the bills that are currently on the order paper for consideration. The first one is the National Gambling Amendment Bill, B27B of 2018. Which is having proposed amendments. So the House will be considering the B27D of 2018 following the report of the mediation committee, which was published in the ATC of the 13th of June. And again, the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill, the Division of Revenue Bill, which is also on the order paper for consideration today. Slide number 6, Honorable Speaker, we have the Public Sector Pension and Related Payments Bill, B3 of 2025, which is now before the NSOP Select Committee, following the second reading and adoption by the House on the 24th of June. This is just for information purposes. The last slide will be slide number 7. On slide number 7, there are 2 new draft bills before Parliament, namely the International Cooperation in Criminal Matters Amendment Bill. This bill is an executive bill, and it has been submitted by the Department of Justice. And we've got the second bill, which is the insourcing bill, a private member's bill, which was introduced last night. So both these bills were certified, and the intention for introduction was published in yesterday's ATC. So the bill's office is currently processing them for introduction as soon as possible. With your permission, Honorable Speaker, can I hand over to Advocate Charmaine van der Merwe for the report on Constitutional Court deadlines? Thank you.
Thank you very much. But before we go there, if you can just amend your slides, the one on international was on slide 8. The insourcing one, I think somewhere was missed, maybe because it arrived tonight, as you said, yesterday night. You might not have been able to amend your slide. Charmaine, over to you.
Thank you and good morning to the members. If we can go to slide 2, just to remind members that with this presentation, there was also a report that was circulated and that has information on all the matters. But as usual, we will just be reporting on matters where there will be a gap in the law and where there was some progress. The first matter I want to speak to is that of EB versus ER, which affects the Divorce Act. On this one, the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development actually published the intention to introduce on 6 June already. I have seen letters informing Parliament of the intention to introduce. I think we are just waiting on the NCOP to confirm, and then it will be published in the ATC. The Joint Rule 201 notice, in other words. The second matter is that of the Traditional and Khoisan Leadership Act, the Mohali matter. And in this matter, the Constitutional Court granted an extension to 29 May 2027. Just to remind members, the department was planning introduction of this bill, and because of advice received regarding publication and calling for comments, the introduction was delayed, and the department then approached the court, and the court did grant that extension for another 2 years. The last slide, this matter, the Amabungani matter, I'm specifically adding to this report because there was a question in the last NAPC meeting about what is the process and where are we with the litigation in this matter. So this matter has been referred, the Regulation of Interception of Communications Amendment Bill was referred back by the President in terms of Section 79 of the Constitution. And but prior to that referral, the suspensive order already lapsed. It lapsed in the office of the presidency. So the President has approached the court for an order to provide a read-in while Parliament is considering the Section 79 referral reasons. And the President has, like I say, has approached the court, but parties are still filing papers. We are still waiting on the court for a direction. So there's not much movement in the litigation, but the bill is before Parliament and the committee is busy processing it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Charmaine. Members, it's now open for discussion. If I can get those who would like to make comments on all 3 reports. Mr. Reddy.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me be very brief, deal with the last presentation first. I I think that we are concerned about Parliament's responsiveness to especially constitutional court judgments. I notice that we are facing looming deadlines. If you look at the Divorce Act amendment, it's due in October 2025, and there's no clear introduction date for the bill. In the RICA matter, the suspension has lapsed over a year ago, and yet we remain in limbo while the president and parties continue filing papers. Speaker, these delays are going to expose us to a legal vacuum, and it's going to undermine the rule of law. I therefore recommend, Chairperson, that this committee prioritize court-mandated legislation. We have to demand firm timelines from the executive and request monthly progress updates through the Justice Portfolio Committee. And I think where necessary, preemptive public consultations should be initiated to avoid any further delay. I really believe that this is going to protect us as Parliament and ensure that we don't run into serious problems. Chairperson, with regard to the bills, we have 27 bills that are outstanding, that are in the process here. And we need to ensure that there is a fast-track mechanism of how these bills can be dealt with. The issue of the priority bills, I noticed that only 3 of the 10 priority bills have been introduced so far in 2025. So there is a slow pace of legislative implementation, and we need to then ensure that departments are fast-tracking the executive priority bills. There's also, Honorable Speaker, bottlenecks in portfolio committees because there's only 17 executive bills that are still before committees. And some of these bills are very important. We need to put in some timelines that will be put in place so that we can start to clear the backlog. The same applies to the private members' bills as well. There are 10 bills that are before committees, and some of these are very, very important. I believe that we're not giving them adequate support to be processed effectively. There's also money bills that are already in Parliament. I think that we should prioritize these money bills, and they should be fast-tracked, especially in line with the budget timelines. Chairperson, the issue of, I see there's only one bill that's listed as having a constitutional court deadline, yet its details are very unclear. What I would like to recommend is that the committee requests a status report on the compliance with court-mandated timelines. I think that is extremely important. And finally, Chairperson, with regards to the committee bills, the 27 that I spoke about, it's clearly a heavy legislative workload, and it requires a realistic scheduling to avoid bottlenecks, especially before the constituency period. So we need to find a way to be able to come up with realistic timelines to be able to deal with those 27 bills that are currently before committees. I thank you, Speaker, for the time and opportunity.
Thank you very much, Honorable Reddy. Just to remind all of us that once the bills are in the committees, committee chairpersons and members of the committee work on the program and the schedule. I really think that that's where we need to demand a lot of work to be done. Honorable Frolick, as a House chairperson, engages often with the chairpersons to make sure that they process the legislation accordingly. So I just wanted to say that some of the issues really, this committee takes reports of what is happening in the various committees, but the portfolio committees are the ones that must work on the legislation and ensure that their program is in tandem with the agency on the respective legislation. Other issues that were reported by Charmaine, some of the matters are really beyond the Parliament, particularly where matters are in court. We would await what the court judgment before Parliament can proceed on some of those matters. And I'm sure Honorable Frolic, as a member of this committee, have taken note on the issues that you have raised, will raise it accordingly with chairpersons of committees. Honorable Kalipi, followed by Honorable Frolic.
Thanks, Speaker. I concur with what Honorable Reddy is raising. We have been raising, especially in connection with the matters that are in front of court, as the deadline are knocking, Madam Speaker. I think we have resolved in the past that we must not be seen as Parliament as we are defying the court. We are unconstitutional in terms of our processes. Madam Speaker, I hear what you are saying, that powers are resting with the committees. But I think as Parliament, you can guide the committees and give them a time frame, because as we speak, if I can make an example with the Municipal Demarcation Authority Bill, that bill has been seized with NSOP for a longest time. And you are heading to local elections now without this bill, because the MDB was also saying when they were presenting in COGTA, I think sometimes last year, engaging with the portfolio committee, saying that this bill will assist them in many issues. But now it's stuck today in NSOP without a time frame. When must we complete with this bill? The last one, Madam Speaker, I just want to get a clarity in terms of number 4, the bills before select committee. It says here, number 3, public administration management. If I can get a clarity, public administration management is in COGTA select committee in NSOP. If I can get clarity in terms of how does it work, because I understand that it must start to the NA, and this one has not been in the NA portfolio committee of COGTA. Now is there in the select committee. If I can get clarity on that one. Thanks, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Frolic.
No, good morning, Speaker, and also good morning to the colleagues and the colleagues who have raised issues around the bills in front of committees. If you go into detail, honorable members, then you'll see that those bills are at various stages of completion. So it will be incorrect to say that there's nothing happening in terms of those bills. However, I understand the urgency, but I must add, Speaker, that the larger political parties, which is the ANC, the DA, MK, EFF, have all members in these committees. And it is the responsibility of those members serving in those committees as well to ensure that there is a speedy processing of the legislation. I agree with the Honorable Kalipi. We must look and consult with our colleagues in the NCOP as far as the bills are concerned that will have an impact on the local government elections, and to see where it is. But I will once again, Speaker, I have regular interaction with the chairpersons of committees that have bills in front of them to tell them that they must, as far as what is legally possible, there's no time for shortcuts, because shortcuts will mean that it will be declared constitutionally invalid and inconsistent, and it will come back to us. So that is how we are dealing with the matter, Speaker. But I really appreciate the attention that the members are giving to the processing of legislation. We'll give an updated report again next week, Speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. With respect to the issue Honorable Kalipi has raised about the matter in the NCOP, I'm not sure whether Honorable Frolic, you can clarify that, or Mr. Kraso, if you can.
Madam Speaker, the two bills that are before the COGTA committee is the Public Admin Management Bill and the Public Service. In the NA, they would have been dealt with by the Public Service Committee, not by COGTA. Remember, in the NCOP, there's the cluster committees, the cluster portfolios. Hence, in that regard, it would have been dealt with by that committee. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that clarity. And just to say that on matters that are on the Constitutional Court and with suspensive orders against Parliament, we have continuously liaised with the leader of government business on those matters. So the matters that you saw in the presentation by Charmaine, those matters have been raised by the Speaker with the leader of local, leader of government business, to make sure that where issues lie in the executive for them to move, the executive actually assists us to do so. Hence, the president, when there was that lapse, he has taken an action himself to approach the court to actually assist in that matter so that it's dealt accordingly. Honorable Reddy, is there
Thank
any
you.
other?
Yes. I won't be long. Honorable Speaker, I think the programming committee must be free from politics. Let's keep the politics out of programming committee. The purpose of this committee, my understanding, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that we want to ensure that the business of Parliament is done efficiently, effectively, and on time. So whether we have members in portfolio committees or not is immaterial. Rather, what we should be doing is ensuring that we are getting timelines and we follow up in this committee on those timelines and whether those timelines are in fact met. Otherwise, we'll end up with bills that are emanating from the 6th and 5th administration we're still trying to deal with here. So having these timelines cast in stone and then working around, even providing assistance where necessary for these portfolio committees, I think we're giving this committee a little bit more teeth. I thank you very much.
Honorable Reddy, thank you very much. I don't think what the Honorable Frolick was raising was bringing politics in the issue. It was just assisting to say, particularly, major parties that have got members in some of these committees can also assist in ensuring that at a committee level, that pressure is also being put in expediting some of these matters.
Agreed,
yes.
Speaker.
So I just want to clarify. Honorable Mkalipi?
Madam Speaker, I just want to get a clarity from yourself. In terms of petitions. So since we have a rule that we agreed as Parliament to establish a petition committee, what is the way forward now, since that committee will take some time to be constituted in terms of dealing with petitions, Madam Speaker?
I will ask Paso to clarify what we're doing currently when we receive petitions. Yes. Mr. Klaso.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Petitions currently serve before the relevant portfolio committees. So if it's a matter on COCTA, it would go before the COCTA committee. So that is the current arrangement. Of course, the House this week agreed to the establishment of that committee, petitions committee, and the committee must still be established. But for now, the relevant portfolio committees deal with this petition. Hence, we get this report every time the program committee meets as to the status of petitions before committees. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Klaso, but also to indicate that we have impressed upon committee chairs that at every given stage of a petition, the petitioner is advised of where his or her petition is as the committee is processing them, so that the petitioner has at least an appreciation of how his or her matter is being undertaken. Thank you very much. I don't see any hand on the reports that have been given. We now move. Honorable Ngobeni.
Thank you, Speaker, and good morning to all the colleagues. I don't need an answer now, Speaker, but because of the issue raised around petitions and how they are being dealt, I think at some point, and I don't know where it lies in terms of being updated around the Vote 1 committee. We did vote that there must be oversight over Vote 1 in the presidency. Maybe if we can get an update as to when that committee will be established. I don't know where it falls, but we were just prompted by the conversation around how petitions are being dealt with at committee level, etc. So yeah, thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. I'll ask Mr. Klaso to give an update on the committee to oversee Vote 1.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The matter, honorable members, is currently before the subcommittee on the review of rules. Political parties were asked to make submissions. The initial deadline, I think, was 30th of May. It was then extended to 6th or 7th of June. I think only 3 parties made submissions. So the matter is currently serving before that subcommittee. And once the subcommittee has concluded its processes on the issue, it will report to the Rules Committee, then the Rules Committee to the National Assembly. Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll just appeal to parties to really finalize their presentation if they still are. Otherwise, the subcommittee will have to deal with only those presentations that they had received on the modalities. Just to remind parties again that there was an agreement by the Rules Committee on the formation of the committee, but what parties were requested to do was to actually give what the modalities of that committee should be, because some of the elements in Vote 1 are dealt with by separate portfolio committees. So the essence was, what then would this committee deal with? So it was those issues that parties were asked to make representation on. Thank you very much. Can we now move to the minutes? I'm sorry, to the parliamentary program, if there's anything new on the programming.
Thank you, Speaker. I don't think we need to be long at all, and I think all of us want to accommodate Honourable Reddy, who has a meeting at 9:30. But as we all know today, we'll be at CTICC. The matter that was taken off the agenda appears today in regard to the Joint Committee on Ethics and Members' Interests. I think we're aware of that. That's now happening today. We'll also be considering the report of the Standing Committee on Appropriations, Division of Revenue, then having the second reading debate, and then we'll be having the debate, International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. And also to note there that at 6 o'clock there is going to be a virtual multi-party women's caucus, which I think is important for members to give time and energy to. And then from tomorrow, we then start dealing vote by vote with the debates on the various budget votes. And we see that's small business and then forestry fisheries tomorrow. Speaker, with your permission, we are aware of the program for next week. You will see there all those particular debates are now scheduled as per our discussion right through until Friday. So with your permission, Speaker, I don't think we need to go into the week after that. So there have been one or two issues where the table staff are engaging, for instance, around rescheduling the sport, arts and recreation, sports, arts and culture one, but we don't need to get into that now, in my view. And I would therefore like to stop on Friday, the 4th of July. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Just to come back to the issue Honourable Reddy raised, indeed, we don't want to amend the program unnecessarily and change issues that are there on the day. But there was a reason as to why there was a consultation with parties to request that report, which was on the agenda on Tuesday, on the ethics, be brought today. But it's not a norm, and it's not something that we encourage, to really amend the program in a manner that we had to do that consultation on the day. And just to indicate that on the sports committee, we've been requested by the sports committee that we need to look at the amendment of their budget vote on Tuesday, but we're still wanting to engage the committee and the minister on the issue, because it looks like they are not on the same page. The minister is ready to continue on Tuesday, but the committee feels that there are certain documents that they are waiting for from the committee, and they would like to have some engagement before that budget debate is tabled. So I just thought it's important to appraise the members to understand why there might be a need for amendment to that date. Honourable Reddy, followed by House Chairperson Majosi.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I think, look, I really want to support you, and I appreciate the fact that you're saying that these sudden changes should really be an exception rather than the norm. And I think let's accept that as it is, that in future we should avoid such things, because some of us, we really prepare. We follow the schedules very carefully, and we prepare for this. We spend a lot of time and effort, and for sudden changes like this, it doesn't go well. Sometimes things are done late in the afternoon. We need to prepare for the next day, and it's really not a very professional way to do things. Speaker, I want to raise this issue of plenary overloads, the many plenary overloads that's in the program.
Just before you continue, I just want to indicate it's not a norm to change the programming. So I don't think, as I was saying, that there was a particular reason and that's why you were all consulted. It's not a norm.
No,
and we all
I agree with you, Speaker.
So
I think you're getting me wrong.
want
I
us
agree
to
with
put
you.
that matter to bed.
Yeah.
And can you continue with your other matter?
No, that's correct. I actually agree with you. And so that's fine. But let's go on to this issue, Speaker, of the overload currently in terms of the mini plenary debates. My concern is that you're finding, the way Parliament is structured, committee meetings, certain committees meet on a Tuesday while others meet on a Wednesday. I want to appeal to the staff, to the team, the table staff, that when they schedule plenary debates, try not to have committees that sit on a Monday and Tuesday to sit at the same time. I'll give you an example. I serve on the Water Portfolio Committee as well as Public Works. You will find that sometimes in July, both the committees are sitting half an hour apart in two different venues. Sometimes, that's being over-optimistic and expecting that the meetings will finish on time. Last year, I recall it was a marathon run to go from one venue to the other. So the only way around this, Speaker, is that what we do is we just ensure that committees that sit on a Tuesday, that they be put on one day, and committees that sit on a Wednesday, they be put on another day. Because if you look carefully at the program so far, especially on the 2nd, 3rd, 9th, and 10th of July.
Ready, be mindful. Honorable Lady,
yes.
Be mindful of your time.
I'm
so
aware.
that
Give me one minute.
Also have it.
1 minute.
You said
1 minute.
Wanted to leave at 9.
Yes, I'll be just a minute. So you find that there are multiple debates that are stacked across the two venues, and with some sessions running right until 18:15. I'm also concerned about the seniority of some of our members who are quite senior in age, and I'm wondering that it might create fatigue. For the members, I'm also concerned about their health. So maybe if we could please allow the table staff to re-look and reconfigure these meetings so that they are manageable and that you don't have meetings that sit on two separate days, mini plenaries of committees that sit on two separate days sitting on the same day. Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Majosi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and good greetings to all honorable members. I know mine is very quick, Honorable Speaker. It's on the issue of the multi-party women's caucus. I just wanted to rectify that we got a message. It has now been changed. The multi-party women's caucus will now sit today instead of 6 p.m. that program. I'm doing this because other caucuses, which means, and we did not come to caucus only to find that we got that the multi-party women caucus 10. Thank you.
Thank you for that clarity. House Chair Frolick, followed by Mkalipi.
Oh, thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, just in terms of the mini plenaries, may I indicate that I last night, in fact, sent out a memorandum that includes the Speaker of both the chief whips of all political parties, indicating to them the arrangements of what happens during mini plenaries as far as committee meetings are concerned. And I indicated that committees will be allowed to meet, but an application must be submitted that indicate the impact that it will have on their committee members who are participating in possible debates. This, Madam Speaker, is to ensure that the attendance of mini plenaries are not adversely affected by these committee meetings, and preference will be given to those committees dealing with legislation, and we heard the discussion about the urgency of legislation earlier, statutory appointments, as well as those committees that are still finalizing their budget vote and related reports. An updated list will be sent out weekly of those committees that have been granted approval to meet during the mini plenaries. That includes for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Kalipi.
Thanks, Madam Speaker. The program of Parliament that is taking place today, we have not received the sitting arrangements. If we can be assisted in that regard, Madam Speaker, we'll be very happy. Secondly, I want to thank Parliament for considering that as something expecting is no longer being used for budget votes and mini plenaries, because that place is not conducive for any meetings. So thanks very much, because according to the program here, we are going to use only M46 and Good Hope only. So if you can continue to be listening in Parliament, we can go a long way, Madam Speaker. We are starting now.
Kalipi, you make me laugh in the morning. And I'm sure all of us will be a listening Parliament, including listening members of Parliament. Thank you very much, Honorable Kalipi. We have taken note of that. The sitting arrangement, Mr. Castle will communicate and consult with the parties. Thank you very much.
Just say something on the sitting arrangement. Madam Speaker, just on the sitting arrangement, and it has not changed. We're using the same venue as we did on the 11th of June. So that sitting arrangement is still applicable, but we will resend it to the honorable members. And indeed, Honorable Kalipi, as I indicated yesterday, we are a listening Parliament. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We now move towards the consideration of minutes of the meeting of 5th June, which again has been circulated. If I can just get from members whether they are a true reflection of the record of our meeting of the 5th.
Speaker, I confirm it is a true reflection. I'm pleased to move the minutes. Thank you.
Is it because you want to leave at 9:30?
You're naughty. You've been very naughty.
I will actually make sure that MK has 9:30 meeting every day when there's a programming committee. Thank you very much, members. Can we now come to the matters arising? Sorry. On a ready move, can we get the seconder so that we can adopt our minutes?
I second, Madam Speaker, and good morning.
Morning. Thank you very much, Chief Whip. We now move to the matters arising.
Madam Speaker, the following matters were discussed at the last meeting. White paper on the review of local government. Honourable members, we wish to indicate that we got a report from the department that the minister had mandated a comprehensive review of the 1998 white paper, and that the white paper is expected to inform the legislative amendments which are anticipated to be submitted to Parliament by March 2026. And that on the 23rd of June, there was going to be the minister was going to convene a political dialogue with all parties and 155 municipal council. We are still trying to establish whether that did happen, but we have seen some reports in the media that there was such a meeting on the 23rd. And but we also want to make the point on the members that in terms of the Constitution, the development and implementation of national policy is rest with the executive. So we will become active primarily when we deal with the law, with the bill that is seeking to give effect to that policy. And members training, we did have training on the 19th to the 20th of June. We think it was successful. It was on the rules, the budget process, public participation. Then on the matter of statutory rape, I think the House Chair may wish to give an update on that. He has been seized with this matter. The Speaker had asked House Chair to deal with the issue. And with the permission of the Madam Speaker, maybe House Chair may wish to reflect on the matter. Thank you.
House Chair, can you reflect on the matter, maybe?
Yes, no, thank you, Madam Speaker. Mr. Castle is correct. We've received, and we had a meeting with the relevant chairpersons, and we received also a document that will inform the approach, and that is now for consideration. I've sent it to Mr. Castle's office, where we will align it with the National Assembly rules, and then we will submit it to you, Madam Speaker, by the end of this week, by tomorrow, so that we can inform the colleagues as to the direction that we are taking with this matter. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Maybe just to say on the report given by Honorable Castle with respect to the policy on local government white paper, that maybe in addition to what he has said, if the committee feels strongly that the minister maybe can just come and brief them for information, I think the chairperson can communicate with the minister. There is nothing that stops the committee just to receive a report or a briefing for information. But in terms of engagement on policy, I'm sure we will use our constituent structures as also our political party structures to participate in these meetings in order to be able to give our views and proposals. Honorable Kalipi, followed by Honorable Reddy.
Thanks, Madam Speaker. Thanks for the update in terms of the review of the white paper. Madam Speaker, if I'm listening attentively, the executive or the ministry is intending to come to Parliament on March 2026. Madam Speaker, I think Parliament must also be mindful of the fact that next year is a local government elections. So if we can understand the processes, because I think the aim of this reviewing of the white paper is to ensure that when we go to local government, there is also a role to be played in terms of reviewing this white paper. So if now it's June and we are told that they are only going to come to Parliament in 2026 in March, I think is a cause for concern. I hear what we are saying, that the committee can also invite the minister for the information. Let us all as Parliament to be aligned to that effect of the white paper in order for us to know what is the way forward clearly. Thanks, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Just two points. The first, it's regarding the training of the councillors that we had. I just would like if we could get some written, some of the points that were raised were very valid.
Honorable Kalipi, if you can mute. Yes, Honorable, you can proceed.
Thank you. Yeah, if you could just get some notes, because some of the questions that were raised by members were very, very critical, and the responses were also equally valuable. I just thought if this could be, if a minute or some note could be provided to all of us regarding the responses that we received and clarity, I think it will help. The second issue, Honorable Speaker, Madam Speaker, it's the dome. We had this report supposedly which was supposed to be from the minister and the DG. That was a disaster. DG ran away, the minister ran away. We still need to have some sort of a formal report on really what is going on with this dome issue. So I'm raising it here as programming committee, because I think you as Speaker of the House, you need to find an opportunity where this can be rescheduled so we know whether we're going or coming. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Reggie, your matter, as you say, you were part of the meeting of the Joint Standing Committee where it's correctly put. And I'm sure as you sit in that committee and your members in that committee will brief you about any progress on that matter. Honorable Kalipi, you have your hand up.
Is a legacy hand, Madam Speaker. Let me lower it.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kalipi. This brings us to the end of our meeting, and thank you very much once again for your attendance.
My dearest Honorable Speaker.
And make sure that Honorable Reggie MK, every Thursday they have a meeting at 9:30. So
You're
that
naughty. You're very
quick
naughty.
on this meeting. Meeting closed.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.